President Buhari hails his administration for keeping promise on free and fair elections.
Ladies and gentlemen, throughout the mission we saw that Nigerians have a great appetite for democracy.
International observers express divergent views on 2023 polls.
By the end of 2022, we were able to notify above 285,000 missing cases in Nigeria.
Ahead of World Tuberculosis Day, key players renew commitment to ending contagious diseases. Hello, it's nice to have you join us on the network news on NTA. I'm Naja Atutujani, and Hingino John Adams is standing by in Lagos. Remember that this newscast is also being streamed live on our website, nta.ng/live, and all social media platforms with handles which will be displayed on the screen. As INEC continues to announce governorship elections across the states, Salihu Gwanara has an overview of results announced so far.
After the governorship and state houses of assembly elections nationwide, winners have continued to emerge. As at the time of this report, results of 21 states out of the 28 states where governorship election took place have been announced. However, the exercise in Kebbi and Adamawa state has been declared inconclusive. So far, the electoral victory shows that the governing All Progressives Congress has won in 14 states of Cross River, Ebonyi, Gombe, Jigawa, Katsina, Kwara, Lagos, Nasarawa, Niger, Ogun, Sokoto, Yobe, Benue, and Borno states, while the People's Democratic Party won in Akwa Ibom, Bauchi, Oyo, Plateau, Delta, and Zamfara states. The New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, won in Kano State. So far, results are being expected from Kaduna, Rivers, Abia, Enugu, and Taraba states. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
After a 4-day official visit to Katsina State, he was received on arrival at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport by Chief of Staff Professor Ibrahim Gambari and Minister of the FCT Mohammed Musa Bello. Others at the airport include the Inspector General of Police Usman Al-Ali Baba, Director General, Department of State Services Yusuf Magaji Bichi, and other senior government officials. While in Daura, Katsina State, President Buhari participated in the just concluded governorship and state houses of assembly elections by voting for candidates of his choice. The president described as fulfilling his administration's delivery on its promise of enhancing the nation's democratic enterprise by ensuring free, fair, and transparent elections. The People's Democratic Party says the results it obtained, along with independent observers directly from the polling units, show that the PDP recorded sweeping victory in most of the states where elections were held. The national chairman of the party, Senator Uche Ayu, at a media briefing in Abuja, emphasized that the announced results so far are not reflective of voter choice. Timothy Yusuf reports.
With the process of collation, announcement and subsequent declaration of winners of the March 18 governorship and state houses of assembly elections not yet over, the PDP is of the view that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has not lived up to expectations.
We will not accept such a travesty of justice. The same scenario has already played out in Nasarawa, Kaduna, Kebbi and Sokoto states, among others.
Ayu hinted that the PDP is inviting the INEC National Chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, to immediately do the needful.
Where we lose, we accept genuinely, if we genuinely lose. Anything to the contrary will never be accepted.
The PDP also raised concerns over the result of the Adamawa state governorship election.
The ongoing brazen attempt to alter the electoral outcomes in Adamawa State is particularly shocking.
While urging INEC to review some of the results already announced and declared, the PDP enjoins its members and supporters to remain calm and peaceful as the party explores every available legal procedure. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
The President of the Senate, Ahmad Ibrahim Lawan, says the re-election of Governor Mai Mala Buni for a second term shows that the people of Yobe State are satisfied with his administration's performance of repositioning the state in the last 4 years. The nation's chief lawmaker stated this when he paid a congratulatory visit to the governor-elect at the Government House in Damaturu. Yunusa Suleiman was there for NTA News.
President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, in company of APC stakeholders from Yobe North Senatorial District, stormed the Government House Damaturu to congratulate the governor-elect over his re-election for the second term of 4 years. The chief lawmaker says Buni's re-election is an approval by people of the state on the performance of the state government, as well as a green light for continuity and consolidation of development strides in the state for the next 4 years.
Our people have utmost confidence in our administration in Yobe State, and we owe them the responsibility and obligations to ensure that we continue with what we have been doing and even do more.
The governor-elect Mai Mala Buni, who appreciated the President of the Senate for his support before, during and after the election, also notes that Yobe State has been benefiting from the developmental projects brought to the state by the President of the 9th Senate. Commenting on other national issues, the President of the Senate expressed optimism that the incoming government, to be led by President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will build on successes of President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration.
We will continue to be the keepers of our promise. We will continue to sanction wherever we feel we are not adequate, but we will continue on the path of glory.
He assures that the 10th National Assembly will work closely with the government of the day to improve on security and infrastructure development across the country. In Damaturu, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
And still on the March 18 elections, the European Union Election Observation Mission has identified timely delivery of election materials, improved use of technology, and uploading of election results in real time as major improvements observed in the governorship and state houses of assembly elections. The chief observer of the mission, Barry Andrews, pointed this out in the mission's second preliminary statement on the 2023 general elections. Joseph Otsen reports.
Ladies and gentlemen, throughout the mission we saw that Nigerians have a great appetite for democracy.
This submission by the European Union Election Observation Mission is coming out from the 63 observers the Union says it deployed to 183 polling units in 20 states. Its reports indicates corrective measures were taken to improve on some lapses in the February 25th polls.
The use of election technology was more efficient this time around. By midday yesterday, gubernatorial race results forms available online range from 62 to 97%, depending on the state. A notable change if compared to the 25th of February election, when more than a quarter of presidential result forms were still missing at the declaration of the results on the 1st of March.
But incidents of thuggery and intimidation of voters, polling officials, observers and journalists in some states were called out by the mission as major setbacks.
Lagos and Kano, as well as other states across the southern and central areas, were most affected. Unfortunately, there were also many casualties and indeed fatalities. This is worrying, as the killing of even one citizen during the conduct of an election is one too many.
Underrepresentation of women in political circle, with just 10% out of the 11,000 candidates that contested in the general elections to the EU, is falling short of inclusivity. Above all, the mission believes Nigeria has taken major positive steps towards transparency based on the March 18 polls. In Abuja, Joseph Otsen, NTA News.
The report by 1,200 observers deployed to the 36 states of the Federation by the Center for Democracy and Development to observe the governorship and state houses of assembly elections indicates that despite significant performance recorded in the process, there were isolated incidents of violence and vote buying. Dennis Temple reports.
According to the report released by the Center for Democracy and Development, election analysis provides details of the conduct of the polls and offers some initial reflection on the political actors behind the outcome of the elections.
While there has been marked progress in election administration, there are also needs for more resilient and adaptive administration mechanisms to enable the electoral process to build more accountable and transparent governance structures. Ultimately, these elections have shown an electoral environment where violence remains at the fore and where there's citizen uncertainty about the ability of the Electoral Commission to ensure that the ballots they cast are reflected in the results that are announced.
The press also have a duty not to provide a platform for prominent politicians who want to inflame hate speech. I was worried because prominent, even mainstream platforms offering politicians a platform to profile ethnic groups. And I think that should be discouraged. That is not just a matter, there is a limit to free speech.
The Center, however, expressed satisfaction with INEC's prompt approach to deployment of election materials and the use of beavers, while recommending that issue of voter suppression and vote trading prevalent in some parts of the country be addressed for the growth of democracy. In Abuja, Dennis Temple, NTA News.
The March 18 governorship and state assembly elections recorded significant improvement in the area of logistics by INEC. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria who gave this assessment, however, note that the same cannot be said of the process across the country, which recorded security breaches in the form of violence and voter suppression. They are urging security operatives to be proactive in curbing impunity in elections. Lydia Sampson reports.
Aspiration by some politicians to regain lost ground in March 18 governorship and state assembly elections played out, with some political actors allegedly sponsoring talks to disrupt the process. Election monitors say this leaves much to be desired.
Politicians became generally desperate, because many of them were not sure anymore of their position in their states. So that desperation, was what led to this brigandage that we saw all over the place. The attack on polling units, the use of thugs, and so on and so forth.
If we say we are working with the Electoral Commission demanding accountability for a better process, but the political actors are planning on ways to undermine the credibility of the process, most especially voter suppression. I think for this governorship election, that is one thing we saw. Our report did capture that we had locations where INEC officials were attacked, some were abducted, and that for me is a worrying trend.
While the governor-elect has emerged in Kano State, curbing the jubilation of the electorate is a Herculean task for the authorities.
Curfew in place, but anxious civilians are trooping to the streets to demonstrate their happiness over the victory. You can see people are already gathering at the right location where we are. This is total defilement of the curfew in place.
Kwakwasiya in Kano here is a movement. It's like when you talk about the obedient movements. Meanwhile, the slogan, Gida in Kano, for Gida means home or house. And to them, when they say Abba Gida Gida, it means politically Abba owns the house. Meaning that as far as the Kano politics is concerned, Abba belongs to the local people and it actually belongs to the house of Kanawa. So that tells you, it's like seeing one of them that has actually emerged.
The guests urged INEC to conduct a comprehensive audit of the 2023 general elections with a view to sanctioning staff found complicit in order to guard the integrity of the electoral process. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
The news continues shortly after some messages. Do stay tuned. Thanks for staying tuned. You're just in time to join Kaduna State Governor-elect Senator Uba Sani, who is right now making his acceptance speech. Let's listen.
Our gaze will be firmly in the direction of continued progress, peace and prosperity of the state. We shall get straight to work on sustaining and strengthening the path to development that our beloved leader, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, has so brilliantly opened for Kaduna State. I thank Malam Nasir El-Rufai and his executive team for their collective effort since 2015 to build the foundation for a new Kaduna State. I thank every resident of Kaduna State who have to make the 2023 elections a largely peaceful exercise. I acknowledge the effort of APC leaders at all levels and the tireless work of the members of our campaign council and the party supporters across the state who help to carry our message to the people. The teaming youth, women, civil society and our many support groups who worked for this victory. And we thank them. We are indebted to traditional, community and religious leaders who have fostered an atmosphere of peace. I salute all APC candidates in 2023 elections for their hard work and contributions to this overall success, despite some setbacks. I am grateful to Aswaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President-elect, for his consistent support. I wish to specifically acknowledge the support of President Muhammadu Buhari, who even took the time to record a message of endorsement for my campaign. It is in the nature of democratic contestation that they are concluded with the declaration of one candidate as the winner. But we are all winners. When the people freely declare their preferences at the ballot, I note the energetic campaigns of fellow contestants and call on them to continue to make their contribution to Kaduna State. What has been achieved since 2015, but much remains to be done to drive Kaduna State closer to its potentials. Therefore, we shall be devoting efforts in the next few days to ensuring that we can begin to govern effectively from 29 May 2023 with the standards of efficiency and clarity set by the current government. Thank you for vesting your support in us. I and my running mate, Dr. Hadiza Sabwa Balarabe, deeply appreciate your mandate. Thank you and God bless you all.
And that was the governor-elect of Kaduna State, Senator Uba Sani, making his acceptance speech. And now we head to Rivers State, where the Commissioner of Police in charge of election duties, CP Echeng, has tasked operatives of the command to deploy all necessary human and investigative assets to ensure that killers of the campaign Director General for the All Progressives Congress in Ahoda West in Rivers State, Mr. Chisom Leonard, are brought to book. Reports reveal that the campaign DG was shot by yet-to-be-identified gunmen in the afternoon of Saturday, 18th March 2023. The Commissioner of Police therefore commiserates with the family of the bereaved and promises to commiserate with the bereaved family and promises to bring the perpetrators of the crime to justice. Kaduna State government says security is on high alert to contain threats to law and order in the state. A statement signed by the Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruan, says the development follows intelligence reports indicating plans by some individuals and groups to spread disaffection and instigate violence in Kaduna metropolis and other major centers in the state. The government is therefore appealing to citizens to volunteer information on any activity which may pose a threat to public law and order. The statement adds that security agencies are conducting investigations and anyone found wanting will be prosecuted. Meanwhile, a clash between soldiers and the police has temporarily stalled collation of governorship election results and business in the early hours of today in Jalingo. The incident, which resulted in exchange of fire, also recorded casualties on both sides. Jibrin Musa reports.
Misunderstanding between military and police personnel has led to exchange of fire in the early hours of today. This situation has led to closure of business premises in the state capital for the pair of eventualities. Reports said there were casualties from both sides, but the Tribal State Commissioner of Police said the situation has been brought under control and investigation is ongoing to ascertain the cause.
It was a minor disagreement that led to the escalation of the incident. This incident is a dent to the synergy and mutual trust both the army and the police in Taraba State have enjoyed.
The Commissioner appealed to the general public to go about their normal businesses,
while assuring the citizens of Taraba State to go about their daily activities. The High Command of both organizations have set up a joint investigation team to look into the root cause of the matter with a view to ensuring that erring personnel are brought to book.
This situation has not affected the governorship and House Assembly result collection in the state capital. In Jalingo, Jibrin Musa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Police Force says INEC officials and ad hoc staff came under heavy attack by armed hoodlums at Abuja while on their way from Kupa North and South to the Constituency Collation Center in Lokoja. In a statement by the Police Public Relations Officer for the Commissioner of Police, Kogi Police Command, the police escort attached to the team responded swiftly, engaging the hoodlums in a fierce gun duel. Reinforcement teams were promptly mobilized and sent to the scene, and owing to the superior firepower of the police, the attackers were forced to flee with varying degrees of injury. While the police evacuated 96 rescued victims, including INEC officials, ad hoc staff, bus drivers and others to the INEC headquarters in Lokoja, 3 victims were injured and evacuated to the Federal Medical Center, Lokoja, for treatment. The Commissioner of Police, while commending the gallantry displayed by the men of the force, urges members of the public, particularly the adjoining communities, to be on the lookout and report anybody seen with bullet wounds to the nearest security formation or agency. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the reappointment of Idris Musa as Director General of the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, NOSTRA. Idris Musa was first appointed on the 1st of April 2019, contributing to the digitization of NOSTRA records, review of oil spill management processes, and environmental sensitivity index map used in oil-producing areas as a means of protecting the vulnerable and fragile ecosystem of the Niger Delta region. A statement issued from the Office of the Minister of Environment, Muhammad Abdullahi, indicates that the reappointment takes effect from 1st April 2023. 285,000 out of 300,000 missing cases of tuberculosis were identified in 2022, representing 60% performance for tuberculosis notification in Nigeria. This was made known during the National Tuberculosis, Ulcer and Leprosy Control Program ahead of the 2023 World Tuberculosis Day. Uche Ugochukwu reports.
Research has shown that happiness does not just make one feel better. It actually brings a host of potential health benefits. Our search to find out the meaning of happiness brings us to the definition that it is a feeling of pleasure or contentment, knowing the value of happiness and creating awareness around it. It is why the United Nations adopted 20th March each year for the commemoration of International Day of Happiness. And for the year, the theme is telling the global community to be mindful, be grateful, be kind.
If the leaders show optimism, restraint, and show the way moving forward, it's likely to engender less rancor. You know, many more people will feel that there is hope. And once there is hope, happiness, there will be happiness. Because you feel happiness because of what has happened or in anticipation of what will happen, because you are certain it will happen.
But the question is, what could make people happy and what could sometimes cause sadness?
Being alive is one of the things that makes me happy. And also, if I have money on me, when I was looking for a job and I could not be able to see someone that will help me out, I was so bad and I wasn't happy with that.
I think to me happiness is self-built. It has to be from the inside. You have to be able to see happiness from within you. If you don't have that inner peace, you can't be able to express happiness. So,
taking concrete actions and implementing result-oriented policies geared towards addressing issues of peace and unity, experts say will guarantee happiness and the overall well-being of the people. In Abuja, Tokpe Alabi, NTA News.
That report was actually on World Happiness Day, and now we'll bring you Uche Ugochukwu's report on World Tuberculosis Day.
Thanks to advancements in diagnosis, treatment and prevention, there has been a decline in tuberculosis prevalence in the country. However, it remains a deadly infectious disease and a major global health challenge.
Our mandate is to continue to advocate for increased political commitment and domestic resource support.
We have been able to extend our services to hard-to-reach areas.
At a 69% funding gap and over-reliance on external donor agencies for funding, sustaining the TB program efforts in Nigeria will continue to remain a challenge.
These panelists agree that more needs to be done to increase awareness about the disease in Nigeria and move from being the highest with the burden of TB in Africa and sixth in the world.
By the end of 2022, we were able to notify above 285,000 missing cases in Nigeria.
Director General of WHO, Dr. Tedros, will be launching an initiative that spans from this year up till 2027 that will bring together countries and stakeholders to redouble efforts to ensure universal access to prevention care and the latest tools and technologies to combat TB on the road to universal health coverage.
Partners are optimistic that if everyone gets involved, the theme for World Tuberculosis Day 2023, yes, we can end TB, is achievable. Uche Ugochukwu, NTA News.
Still related to health matters, normal academic activities have fully commenced at Junior Secondary School Gui, Abuja, following closure over fear of suspected hazardous emissions and pollution. Unotu Yakubu reports.
These panels on the roof of the school's classrooms generate solar energy for storage in these batteries to power utilities that will enhance learning in the school. But 2 weeks ago, a couple of the batteries became threats to the lives of students and teachers of the school.
The 3 batteries that were affected by the bursts are supposed to be in these lines that are empty here.
There is respite now, however, A coordinated environmental hazard control team has decontaminated the entire premises and as well evacuated these 3 affected batteries to make the institution habitable and allow for normal academic routine to resume.
No student was affected, not even a teacher was affected. The next day they came to the school and normal activities have resumed since that time. There was no health issue. No student reacted to the pollution.
When NTA News visited the school, students had commenced their 2022-2023 academic year second term examination. From Gui, Onoto Yakubu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, says it has resumed the 2023 registration exercise for direct entry candidates and other issues relating to the 2023 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. JAM Registrar Professor Ishaq Oloyede, who stated this, also notes that 127 candidates who had earlier registered for direct entry before the suspension of the exercise have been requested to return to their registration centers and update their application to comply with the new registration process. Olainka Ojo completes the report.
Time passed. Some candidates are said to have used unacceptable A-level certificates to register for direct entry. And from one of the institutions, out of 148 candidates verified, only 6 were found genuine.
In order to further checkmate the anomaly and also prevent recurrence of such irregularity, the board has decided that 2023 DE registration will not only be restricted to JAM PTC, that is professional test centers, but will also be done under strict supervision.
While noting that only 13 certificates will be recognized for the 2023 direct entry exercise, the board adds that following the enormity of the challenges associated with A-level qualifications, they now have a Nigeria post-secondary education data system as well as other innovations in the UTME exercise.
One major feature of the new dispensation is that no examination will be allowed to take place after 1 hour of its scheduled start time, because the board has discovered that some of the problems reported at the centers are contrived to delay the commencement of a session in some centers with a view to securing undue advantage for the delayed candidates.
The direct entry registration exercise is expected to end on the 28th of April 2023. Olainka Ojo, NTA News.
It's time now to join our Lagos studios for more on the network news on NTA.
With a margin of more than 400,000 votes to defeat his closest contestant from Labour Party, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has secured a second-term ticket to continue in office for the next 4 years. Musa Tole has captured the moment when Governor Sanwo-Olu monitored the announcement of the election results on television at the State House in Lagos.
March 18 governorship election was the climax of the general elections in the country. As soon as the voting exercise was rounded off, collation of results at the Independent National Electoral Commission took the center stage. However, celebration mood was activated at the Lagos State Government House as party faithful and supporters anticipated the victory of Governor Sanwo-Olu. The governor, in company of his deputy, wife, and APC chieftains also stayed glued to the television set. Then the moment of suspense soon paved the way for the much-awaited announcement by INEC. The re-elected governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, extended hands of fellowship to other contestants and promised to consolidate on the gains of the theme's agenda for a prosperous Lagos.
It's time for all of us to roll up our sleeves once again and push on to the development agenda of Lagos in the true spirit of sportsmanship. If you indeed believe that you want to serve this city, you want to serve this state, You have an opportunity with us. We will not be divided. We are Lagosians. This is our city, this is our state, and we will build it bigger, better, and stronger.
So it's now for us to live up to that expectation and fulfill all our promises to Lagosians. So in a sense, it's a referendum on our performance.
In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
Meanwhile, out of the 40 seats available in the Lagos State House of Assembly, the All Progressives Congress APC has won 38 in the State House of Assembly election conducted last Saturday, with the Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, being elected for the 6th term.
Out of the 40 constituency seats in the 20 local government areas of the state, candidates of the All Progressives Congress APC won 38 seats, with Amur Dolphin local government area constituencies 1 and 2 results yet to be declared. The Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, was elected for a 6th term to represent Agege 1 constituency in the State Assembly. He secured 17,214 votes to beat his closest rival of the Labour Party, who had 3,933. In Surulere constituency, Desmond Elliott of the All Progressives Congress was declared the winner by the INEC returning officer with 17,837 votes, followed by the Labour Party with 7,822 and PDP 1,045. Also, in Badagry constituencies 1 and 2, All Progressives Congress candidates cleared the 2 seats, with APC scoring 18,776 and 21,580 respectively. In Shomolu constituencies 1 and 2, APC equally secured the seats with 14,256 and 21,220 votes to beat their closest rivals, who had 4,865 and 9,664. The story is not different in other constituencies across the state, as APC secured all seats in the 38 constituencies declared so far by the Independent National Electoral Commission. In Lagos, Hingino, John Adams, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages. The news will be back shortly. Please stay.
Let's talk business now. Tax administrators must keep up with the dynamics of new technologies of the 21st century and equip themselves with the requisite capacity and character for effective administration in the 4th Industrial Revolution age. The President of the Commonwealth Association of Tax Administrators and Executive Chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Service, Mohammed Nemi, gave the charge to the 2022 Qatar Senior Leadership Cohort held at His Majesty's Treasury Headquarters, London, United Kingdom. In a statement by Oluwatobi Wujuola, Nemi praises the Commonwealth Association for its investment and contributions through its Senior Leadership Program, which he notes has helped bridge the capacity gap of tax officials in member countries. The Qatar Senior Leadership Program is an annual senior-level leadership program delivered by His Majesty's Revenue and Customs on behalf of the Commonwealth Association of Tax Administrators. Despite recirculation of the old Naira notes by banks to ease shortage of money, the cash crunch still persists in Abuja. Let's join our business correspondent, Boss Sede Abel, for updates.
Most busy ATM points in Abuja metropolis are empty due to lack of cash, as most of the money deposit banks said they have run out of cash for their customers. And for those banks that are paying, it's a long wait on the queue for their customers.
We have up to about 5 banks in this line, just one bank is paying and it's paying across the counter.
All the banks here have been to Court of Appeal there. There's no money everywhere.
They should make our transfer at ease. Say I want to try and do transfer now. If I try it in front of you, to bring error.
Lukman Yusuf, a vegetable seller, says all the sales he was supposed to make via mobile transfer has been futile due to poor network and lack of cash.
Some people they say that transfer go do for me. If you do transfer for me, sometimes I no go see a lot. So now I'm be problem. If you no collect transfer, here's why you no get cash, you no go buy the market.
Some residents say they were hopeful that after the elections, the situation will return around, but have their hopes dashed despite the validity of the old Naira notes.
There's no cash anywhere. After the election, nothing has changed. It has still remained the same.
I can't go for my business because I do sell clothes and other things. I can't go anywhere because I don't have cash. I came since morning until now. I still don't have access to my money.
Observers say the scarcity is taking longer time than expected, and the situation is also taking its toll on the economy, emphasizing that something should be done urgently to address the trend. In Abuja, Bossede Ebo, NTA News.
Thank you, Bossede. Let's join another business correspondent for more business news. Musa, over to you.
Thank you, Naja. The value of private Chinese investment in Nigeria is put at $290 million as at last year, while both countries are looking to increase trade volumes. The leadership of the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, led by Saratu Umari, is putting together an investment master plan in addition to a coordination framework that will, among other things, minimize the export of raw materials and encourage value addition in country for all-round prosperity of the nation's economy.
In the past years, the figure is also around 300 million US dollars. So we are very happy our investors enjoyed their cooperation with local partners.
We set up here first and foremost in Nigeria and then process or manufacture what we need here in Nigeria, which is where import substitution comes in. And once we're producing what we need here, then we're conserving foreign exchange. And it will be a win-win because those factories and industries also repatriate whatever proceeds they've made. And once we produce and process here, it's going to open up our country, it's going to create jobs, it's going to develop because most of these factories, industries will come along with them. Whatever location they go to, it will take along roads, it will take on education, healthcare, jobs, and so much more.
And out of securities, the equities market began the week bullish as investors lose 22.78 billion naira. The all-share index shed 0.05% to close at 54,886.04 points. A total turnover of 1.1 billion securities valued at 2.8 billion naira were traded in 3,066 deals. Equity capitalization decreased to 29.8 trillion naira. Name-Med International Pharmaceuticals PLC, UBA and Access Holdings PLC were the most traded stocks in terms of volume. And that's it. The news continues after the break.
My baby is always running around.
Host Niamey has lifted the overall team trophy of the ECOWAS African Wrestling Tournament. Abdullahi Mohammed reports that the organizers are planning on introducing the female version.
The drums, the inspirations, the amulets, some rituals. But for green, white, green, it's fervent prayers. But victory is laid bare in the ring.
As an experienced person, you don't look by the body size to intimidate you. The game is about skill and no sense.
The boys were there, but the big guns have the best of the shots. The matches between the two giants gets the arena wild.
Many
nations have been classified as less technical, including that of Nigeria. But I tell you, so many of the individual wrestlers in the Nigerian team came here with the spirit of Amalinze, the cat. And when you less expect that they deliver in style.
It's a good outing for us. Our objectives have been achieved. You've seen the quality of the fights we've had today. You've seen a new set of member states coming up on the medals table.
Jamil Boko stood ahead of all in the 66 kilo, and Nigeria with the bronze. And up we move on the ladder with a silver in 76 kilo. The Gambia also making its anthem loud and clear in the 100 kilo. And Senegal in the 120 kilo, leaving Nigeria with the silver. Niger Republic, the host, took the overall team trophy to close the championship. In Yamai, Niger Republic, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
Let's join our sports desk for more updates.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria have resumed training at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, ahead of the double-header fixtures against Guinea-Bissau in the 2023 African Cup of Nations qualifiers. Coach Jose Pesero and his team are optimistic of victory in both legs to secure qualification for the 2023 African Cup of Nations.
It's impossible you join the players at the same time, like in the others campings, like the next campings. Some players arrive in the first day, some players arrive in the second day. Everything is over our control, no problem.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria, who currently top Group A with 6 points, will take on the Guinea-Bissau national team on Friday at 5 p.m. at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja.
They've done really well coming out of a group with a traditional powerhouse in African football like ASEC Mimosa, and in the quarterfinal stage with the home support. I think they should focus more on that away game.
In tennis, Carlos Alcaraz breezed past Dani Medvedev to win the Indian Wells title and return to world number 1. The Spanish tennis star needed only 1 hour 11 minutes to seal a 6-3, 6-2 win that took him above Novak Djokovic at the top of the ATP rankings. With Sports Update, I'm Austin Edemodu, NTA News.
Now for a quick check on the weather prospects.
Tuesday looks promising rainfall-wise. We've observed steady moisture influx coupled with atmospheric instability. This should give widespread rains as there are prospects of morning thunderstorms over the coastal states, parts of Imo, Abia, Edo, Ondo, Osun, Oyo, as well as Kogi, Benue, Kwara, the Federal Capital Territory, Niger, extending to parts of Kaduna and southern Kebbi. With more cloud buildup, the prospect of more weather activities later during the day, as thunderstorms are expected over most parts of the southern region, parts of the north central, including parts of Taraba, Adamawa, Gombe, Bauchi, and Kaduna states. Up next is the Air Quality Index. I'm Theodore Wrightson. Thank you for watching.
And that concludes the news on NTA. Do remember that collation continues across the nation and NTA will continue to bring you updates in real time. Thanks for watching. I'm Najaa Atutujani.